Hello everyone, I'm Sophie and I'm currently at Kechara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. And today I will continue sharing from the book by my guru, His Eminence the 25th Sam Tuku Rinpoche. And this is the book that I'll be reading from, Compassion Conquers All, Teachings on the 8 Verses of Mind Transformation, Sam Rinpoche. I'll be finishing off the chapter with this reading, and it's on verse 8, Freedom, page 129. And before that, as usual, I will go to a picture of the Buddha to share with you. There you go. There's many lovely pictures of Buddhas and the artist's interpretation. So this is something that I like too. Right, so we go to page 129, verse 8. May all of this be undefiled by the stains of the 8 mundane views, and through discernment, knowing all things as illusion, without grasping, may all be released from bondage. The practical secret here is to stop distinguishing between pleasant and unpleasant. By perceiving all phenomena as illusory, by realizing their dreamlike, fleeting nature, we come to see that everything and nothing is really the same. Nothing is good or bad in itself. It is the label we attach to it, our projections that seem to make it wonderful or horrible. Being aware of the ultimately empty, illusory nature of all phenomena empowers us to free ourselves from attachment and aversion. We should apply this view to our entire life, including our spiritual practice. The masters urged us to be free of subject, object, and act. The one who meditates, which is the subject, the enlightened being meditated upon, which is the object, and the act of meditation are not separate but a totality. At the same time, each is empty from their own side. This should become our ongoing meditation. Empty of inherent existence doesn't mean that nothing matters and we become indifferent to the pain and needs of others. It is no coincidence that 7 of the 8 verses help us to relinquish self-grasping and self-cherishing tendencies by cultivating great compassion, relative bodhicitta, which leads to their complete dismantling through profound insight into the nature of reality, as described in this 8th and last verse, which points out wisdom or absolute bodhicitta. If we practice correctly, free from the extremes of eternalism and nihilism, the opposite of indifference happens. When grasping ceases and wisdom dawns, we become total availability. Non-dual love and compassion reveals themselves as natural expressions of the pristine clarity of this unconditioned awareness. Being finally free of agendas, therefore directly seeing into the heart of each moment, life becomes an ongoing, elegantly flowing creative play and prayer in service of the great awakenings of all beings without exception. Nagarjuna stated that samsara and nirvana lack even an atom of true existence, while cause and effect and dependent arising are unfailing. To reconcile this apparent paradox, to profoundly realize that these two are complementary, not contradictory, is what is called the middle way. Relative and absolute truth, interconnectedness, and emptiness, compassion and wisdom are inseparably intertwined, support each other, dependent on each other. Truth is one, as J. Tsongkhapa has made visible, with brilliant, wonderful clarity. This concludes the 8th transformation. These teachings are sacred. These teachings are holy. As coming from an unrealized monk who sincerely believes in these teachings that I have received from the correct source and the correct guru, I invoke the blessings of His Holiness Avalokiteshvara, Chenrezig, Tenzin Gyatso, the Dalai Lama, that these teachings may go into your hearts and go straight into the center of your mind, and that You will practice it from this moment onwards. If you practice this and nothing else, and you can check this with His Holiness, you can become enlightened. And you don't need any commitments except those mentioned in the 8 verses. If you practice this, all of the 84,000 teachings of Buddha Shakyamuni that he taught for more than 41 years of his holy life are included in these 8 verses. Please don't chase after mantras, holy places, exotic gurus with wonderful hats. Don't chase after wonder gurus that comes from exotic places. There are emanations of deities that you can't even recognize, with so many arms, faces, and colors that they drive you crazy. Don't chase after exotic temples and exotic initiations and empowerments. Don't chase after exotic rituals and pujas, because none of that can remove your sufferings, and none of that can give you happiness. Only the 8 verses of mind transformation and their practice will give you this. Every single practice and meditation, every single method that Buddha has given you is an extension and elaboration of the 8 verses of mind training. So, if mind training is not practiced in some way, shape, or form, you will definitely not gain results. We can even condense it all into 8 small lines. All beings are infinitely precious. Practice the humility of a pure view. Always check the mind. Be grateful for difficult situations. Let others win. True love is unconditional. Give all joy, take all pain. Appearances are like a dream. Wake up. This is the complete path of the Buddha right here. These 8 short lines are a condensed form of the 8 verses, and these 8 verses are the condensed Bodhicharyavatara. The extended form is the Buddha's complete teachings on compassion. So the first 7 little simple lines are the complete teachings of Lord Buddha on compassion, and the last line is our wisdom. All the teachings are here. I beg you, I implore you, and I ask you, if you really wish to practice the Dharma, read this every day. I know you have millions of sadhanas and millions of deities and meditational retreats that you have to do, but can I ask you one simple question, with deep respect and no malice intended? Have those exotic deities given you any results? Have those exotic mantras and secret initiations brought you any results? Have you become kinder? If you haven't, we should go back to the basics, because the basics are what make those deities. So, please stop running after all types of exotic lamas, me included. Stop running after ego-pleasing Dharma practice. Please follow your Guru's advice and practice the Dharma. The best pilgrimage is the place you practice the 8 thoughts of transformation. The best offering you can make to your Guru is to accomplish these 8 thoughts, and the best temple is where this is taught and practiced. The best center is the place where this is taught and practiced. The best people are the ones that accomplish this. All Buddhas were born with these teachings. They are being created from these teachings and will be born from them in the future. Hold these teachings sacred, frame them, retype them, decorate them, place flowers around them. Make offerings to these teachings because they are the Buddha's essence in words. Practice them, memorize them, commit them to heart, recite them every day, and when certain situations come, I guarantee you, one of them will pop into your head and you will be able to control yourself. If you practice nothing else, if you don't want anything else at all, this is enough. If you practice this, you will gain enlightenment. I'm happy to share these wonderful teachings with you that I received from His Holiness. I don't dare say teach you, but I say share these teachings with you. We are all Dharma brothers and sisters. We are all on the same level, and we are all in samsara together, so we can share what we have with each other, and that's the most important thing. By realizing that all sentient beings are more precious than wish-granting jewels for attainment of the supreme goal, may I always hold them dear to my heart. Whenever I associate with anyone, may I view myself as the least of all, and from the depths of my heart, may I cherish others as supreme. During all actions, as soon as thoughts or delusions arise in my mind that are harmful to myself and others, may I stop them with effective means. As for sentient beings who are bad-natured, when I see they are oppressed by negativity and pain, may I cherish them just like I am encountering a precious treasure that is difficult to find. May I accept unjust loss, such as others abusing me or slandering me out of jealousy, and may I offer the victory to others. And if someone I have helped, one for whom I had great hopes, harms me without slightest reason, may I view him as my holy guru. In brief, directly and indirectly, I offer aid and joy to all my mothers. May I secretly take upon myself all harm and sufferings of my mothers. May all of these be undefiled by the stains of the 8 mundane views, and through discernment, knowing all things as illusion, without grasping, may all be released from bondage. And we move on to part 3, which is wisdom. Meditation on impermanence. Page 139. May I remember my Guru's instructions. When the doctors give up on me, when rituals and pujas no longer work, when friends have given up hope for my life, when anything I do is futile, may I be blessed to remember my Guru's instructions. These words of the great Panchen Lama sum up the total motive and total reason to practice Dharma. What is he talking about? In the beginning, in the middle, and finally in the end, nothing matters except for our Guru's instructions. And what is our Guru's instructions? Our Guru's instruction is to practice the Dharma. What exactly is practicing the Dharma? To practice the Dharma is transforming our mind from negative states of affliction and emotion to positive states as much as we can. Death is very near. Death is very soon. Life, time, energy is going by so fast and passing by so fast, it's almost unaccountable. But is the time passing by with Dharma or without Dharma? And when I say that, we must look even deeper. When I say with or without Dharma, it means with transformation or without transformation. If we are stuck on mantras, rituals, prayers, and if we are stuck on meditations, teachings, retreats, if we are stuck on visiting holy places, yet the mind never ever changes, we have to examine why. We have to check why. We have to check why, and we have to check it immediately. We must not delay, and we must not be comfortable that we are not changing and transforming. This is very important. We should practice the Dharma in order to become a fully enlightened being, to be of utmost benefit to others and to ourselves. You will continuously create positive actions if you are free of the 8 worldly concerns and remember death at all times. But if you don't remember death, you will constantly create more negative karma and become more unsuitable for liberation. At the time of death, you will feel intense regret at having wasted your precious opportunity. Death is certain. No power in the universe can stop your death. Every person that has been born has died. Even the Buddha himself had to die. Within 80 years' time, every single person in this room will die. So what will matter at the time that is completely uncertain? Blindly, ignorantly, and delusionally, and out of great conditioning, We make plans, and actually there are no plans to make because the plans are not in our hands. Secret mountains and caves, forests, huge skyscrapers and vaults, and bulletproof glass cannot protect us from death. There is nowhere to hide. From the time we are born, from the moment we spring from our kind mothers, we are racing towards death. It's like a bullet train that never stops. There are no stops. There is only a destination. Every breath is getting closer to death. Some people avoid this subject and avoid the truth, thinking that by not facing it, it will not happen. Imagine, out of the 70 years we are basically alive, half of it we spend sleeping. The other half is spent working, eating, quarreling, shopping, traveling, and watching television. Very little time is spent on Dharma. And even the very little time that we spend on Dharma, is it really Dharma? That's how rare and precious Dharma is. When we are young, we put off our Dharma practice until we are stable in life and we have some wealth. When we are middle-aged, we get distracted. Every week it's another contract, and after that one, I will practice the Dharma. When we get older, we look back and regret the practices that we could have done and did not. Age is no guarantee. Children or young people often die before older people. Health is no guarantee. Healthy people die before sick people. The very things that are meant to keep us alive can become conditions that actually kill us, such as food, housing, medicine. In general, huge trees, forests and mountains all can be destroyed, and they are so strong and big and solid. And our bodies are so fragile. Near and dear ones give rise to attachment and pain. No one can share our experience of death. If you remember death, your Dharma practice becomes pure. Your Dharma actions become powerful and effective, beneficial in the beginning, beneficial in the middle, and beneficial at the end. And in the hour of death, you will go with satisfaction knowing you have spent your life meaningfully. We should be more worried about what's going to happen after death than before death. When the doctors give up on me, when rituals no longer work, when friends have given up hope on my life, when anything I do is futile, may I be blessed to remember my Guru's instruction. How incredibly deep. So when we attend Dharma talks, read this book now, or do any Dharma activities, however minor, we should develop good motivation and constantly propel ourselves to be free of worldly concerns, contemplating on death and impermanence as I have described just now. And afterwards, do not go back to your old ways. Do not go back to your old habits. Do not think that monk is a great actor. He was a great joker. He makes us laugh. When is the next show? We must contemplate. We must remain silent and not go back to our old ways. Not start gossiping. Not start talking. We should not talk putting other people down. Getting angry, fighting, we should practice it immediately. We should take courage and make a difference and practice it immediately. Do not let it degenerate, but let it excel and grow. This human form endowed with freedom, more valuable than a wish-granting gem, obtained only this once, is difficult to acquire, is easily lost, passing like a flash of lightning in the sky. Remembering this and understand that all worldly activities are like husks. At all times, day and night, you must try to take advantage of its essential significance. I, a yogi, have practiced in this way. You, O liberation seekers, should do likewise. J. Tsongkhapa urges us, may his kindness be our guide. This is the essence of the Buddha's teachings. May we gain bodhicitta and realization of emptiness, and by that may we gain full enlightenment. And when we gain full enlightenment, we don't run to Amitabha heaven, get on a nice red couch and relax, and sleep and just be free and happy. but come back again and again to serve sentient beings until the end of time, until the last sentient being is finished with suffering. May I continue to take rebirth again and again and again to benefit others. Please pray like that and the power will come. There's an appendix, page 145. Exchanging self and others. Tonglen, which is the giving and taking. Giving and taking, which Tonglen in Tibetan, is a supremely powerful method to generate deep closeness with oneself and others, while at the same time attacking the roots of the self-grasping and self-cherishing mind. For a long time, Tonglen has only been taught to the most advanced practitioners. During Geshe Chekawa's time, it became known as the Dharma of lepers, because many lepers found their illness cured through this practice. We calm our body and mind, and we take refuge in the enlightened ones. We remember our truest wish, the unchanging happiness for every living being. Then we start breathing in others' pain and difficulties through the right nostril, visualizing as black smoke that enters our heart, completely shattering our self-cherishing mind. The black smoke dissolves simultaneously with our ego. Now, through our left nostril, we breathe out the pure white light of the holiest love and wisdom we can conceive of, seeing and feeling how it fills and heals and transforms all beings until they are in a state of lasting happiness and free of any type of suffering, appearing as a female and male Buddhas. It is recommended to start by visualizing and practicing with someone close to us. This can be ourselves. For most of us, this is very important, whose pain we can hardly bear to see. Later, we move on to someone neutral, finally to someone we dislike or hate. We gradually expand our practice to include all living beings. We can elaborate the visualization or simplify it, whatever works to open ourselves to a direct, intimate, and transforming experience. His Holiness the Dalai Lama has stated that we can also simplify breathing in others' pain and send them happiness without any visualization. In this way, we can practice anywhere and anytime. As beginners, we give and take indirectly through visualization, but with sincere motivation and deep faith, nothing is impossible. And one day we can be like the great masters who radiate blessings and absorb sufferings and karma directly by simply being present. Because they have gone far beyond any concern for themselves, they are constantly and spontaneously filled with blissful compassion and the fervent longing to serve all beings in realizing their Buddha nature. So there ends the book on Compassion Conquers All. The 8 verses of mind transformation. Let me read the 8 verses again, and I do hope that it will go deep into your mind, that you may be able to remember it, and it comes up whenever you are in a difficult situation, that you are able to practice it and gain that very peace of mind that we are all seeking. By realizing that all sentient beings are more precious than wish-granting jewels, for attainment of the supreme goal, may I always hold them dear to my heart. Whenever I associate with anyone, may I view myself as least of all, and from the depths of my heart, may I cherish others as supreme. During all actions, as soon as thoughts or delusions arise in my mind that are harmful to myself and others, may I stop them with effective means. As for sentient beings who are bad-natured, When I see they are oppressed by negativity and pain, may I cherish them just like I am encountering a precious treasure that is difficult to find. May I accept unjust loss, such as others abusing me or slandering me out of jealousy, and may I offer the victory to others. And if someone I have helped, one for whom I had great hopes, harms me without slightest reason, may I view him as my holy guru. In brief, directly and indirectly, I offer aid and joy to all my mothers. May I secretly take upon myself all harm and suffering of my mothers. May all of this be undefiled by the stains of the 8 mundane views, and through discernment, knowing all things as illusion, without grasping, may all be released from bondage. As mentioned by Rinpoche, these are the 8 verses that encompasses 84,000 of Buddha's teachings. And if you do practice it well, you gain full realization of it, then you will gain enlightenment. So I do hope that you will actually get the book itself. And this is the book, Compassion Conquers All, teaching on the 8 verses of mind transformation by my Guru, His Eminence the 25th Sam Rinpoche. And with that, I will end my sharing session for today. And the next session, I will be sharing from another book. So please do revisit my previous sessions, which shared on all the verses, the explanation by Rinpoche. And if there's any question, please feel free to post your questions on FB, my Facebook, and I will get to you and answer your questions. Thank you very much for sharing your time with me. And with that, I will end the session with a completion dedication in Tibetan. Jangjub Sencho Rinpoche, ma ke panam ke yushi, ke panam pa me pa yang, gwane godo pe wa shu, toni do wa Rinpoche, ma ke panam ke yushi, ke panam pa me pa yang, gwane godo pe wa shu, da so jini sa pa ge wa di, da da dro wa guna ga pa da, je pa je su no san tra pa i, tam ping in po rin tu sa se shu, ke wa kun tu yan da la ma da, dra mi cho ki pa na lo cho jing, sa dam lang in yot te ra so ni, do je chang in ngo pa nga tu su, ge wa di nyu du da, la ma sang yu dru yu ni, dro wa chi ka ma lu pa, de i sa la go pa shu, joki ga posung ga pa chosu na pa pe wala ge ki sama si wa dang tung ki malu sang wa sho da dam sang ni do sun dan dre wa song ni la te ni ge wa lo san tra pai tam pa yu riva gi yu shi ni mo da le sen de le ni mi gu nyan da le shi ni sen ta tu da le pe kun chu sung ni jing gi lo kun chu sung ni ngo tu so kun chu sung ni tra si sho Jesu nama kusen rap ting ching nam ka tri ni cho chu ke panda lo sam tem pe dro mi sap sung ni dro i mun sa ta to ni gi u shi ga we ro we ko we shin kam den pen dan de wa ma lu gyo we ni chen ren se wan ten sing ge so cha pe shi de ba du de gi u shi hom tom pe ngo tro ma lo pa den de da la sel du so ko dan den pa long chot nam ke pa so shik shuk ten sel. Thank you very much again for sharing your time with me. Please do contemplate on the 8 verses of mind transformation. That is very important, and within it is the essence of happiness, true happiness, not temporal. Thank you.